Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Dark Elves led by Menacing Platypus facing off against the Greenskins, who shall be helmed by Renegade Moose. Here on the Celestial Lake, we got Morathi and her Ladies Club coming in with the Double Medusa, versus a very standard Greenskin build of Orc Boys, a bunch of archers, some squigs, and looks like a little rampaging gobbo. So it is going to be the Night Goblin boss who throws mushrooms in your face and causes you to, go on a bad trip. Now, as far as the forces of the Platypus goes, the Double Medusas, these things are insanely good. They, of course, in the recent patch benefited from that magic missile ranged kind of attack update that the Soul Grinders did. They're much squishier though. A couple of focus-fired archers, a single, anti-large cavalry surrounding them can be really pressuring, but still extremely strong. On top of that, we do have Morathi, and I think Morathi's kind of slept on. Obviously, the Supreme Sorceress and the Dragon is very meta, but Morathi still has a huge AoE debuff, is a really good assassin, has a nice kit of spells, lowering the stats of nearby units by, 10 in total here? And I think there's another debuff as well, right? Isn't it negative 18 when she has all of it? Yeah, no, maybe it's just negative 10. But very, very good, though. So the idea of the Dark Elf build is basically move forward with the Medusas, get some poke in, your opponent's going to start chasing you, you pull the Medusas back, and you cover their retreat and kite and just get value with these Black Art Corsair handbows, which is quite clean. Dark Riders here as well. Now, looking at the forces of the Renegade Moose, the Moose is on the loose, and he's got the Goblin Big Boss. Looks like a little assassin squad. An Orc Shaman who's got, Foot of Chad. Yes, okay, I love it. And there we go. So Foot of Gork is super fun, and this little Squig Hopper boss is going to be trying to rampage. A lot of Orc Boys backed up by some Savage Orcs and some Savage Orc Air Boys, and a couple Gobbos. These sneaky little kids going to be jumping up on the point here and get ready to party. So good luck, have fun to these players. I know it's not live, but in the spirit of the game, let's get it started. Medusa's going to be rolling up and ripping some shots downtown into the Goblin Wolf Riders, and they lined up like bowling pins. It actually reminds me of a game I had in Warhammer the Old World a couple weeks ago, where I had a unit of 5 Dragon Princes on my opponent's side, and if they line up sideways and you shoot down the side of the formation, you can like bowling pin them. It's a really brutal. So Medusa's going to be scooting up, and we do have Objective Trace here, so we do have a couple Dark Riders on there, and the Black Art Corsairs moving up, and the Medusas have assumed control over the points initially, and nice little shot there. Like, that isn't like bad, right? That's like normal, right? That's good. But the Soul Grinder, the problem is it's an anti-large monster. Medusas are very devastating against infantry, and sure, you could say, well, Medusas are anti-large too with their halberds, but they don't get that same OP attack with the large. Now, Squig Hopper's on the way in. They don't have any shields, but they're fast and furious. They're going to take some substantial casualties on the way in, but so too will the Corsairs when the little squigs, the angry mushroom people, catch them. And we do see the Black Art Corsairs getting pushed back, while the Greenskin Wog is going to be coming over here on Objective 3. Looks like some classic Dark Elf tactics. Harry you with missiles, cycle charge you with light cavalry, and very soon it's like that and pull back. And this Medusa is doing good work. So far, Platypus has gotten some good value, but there is going to be a rampaging Bloodrack Medusa here, which it's not going to die, but it's going to take a bit of damage for sure. But look at this. Platypus with the reverse Uno coming in, debuffing the stats of everybody. That's a really cool tactic, right? Like, your opponent gets you, you get him with the big Soul Stealer, but there we go is also going down, so that will negate some of the debuffs there. But overall, we're going to see who comes out ahead. I think that Soul Stealer is pretty sweet. Although, do we get more Wand here? There we go, active, and these Black Art Corsair handbows going to get punished super hard by the Durkit Squigs. And yeah, that Medusa dying very quickly to the little Goon Squad here. But overall, it didn't go great for that little Goblin. He got hit with the Soul Stealer. Looks like Big Mama Morathi might have given him the business as well, but one of the Medusas is going to be going down. Meanwhile, over on Objective 3, a nice heated fight. We do have some Orcs, the Orc Boys hanging up on the point, while the Dark Elves just kind of value farming back here. Medusa's probably just poking at whatever she can. Medusas are so freaking cool. Oh, look at that shot, so rad. But a lot of the Orc Boys do fall, and the Orcs do have a lot in reserve as well. They have Savage Orcs, Little Goblin Boss in trouble, but Morathi also getting whooped on a little bit as well. All right. So it doesn't look like she had the best time with that engagement either, and Morathi is going to be looking for some prey over here. We're going to be seeing what she can possibly find. Objective 2 in the clutches of the Druki. Objective 3 for the Greenskins. Value trading is very, very even at this point. But typically, even value trading isn't the best for the Greenskins due to their low leadership. And obviously, when you have a squishy lord like this, it can flip on a moment's notice. But now, this is what Platy calls in. This is like his second wave. Now that he's softened up his opponent and their Wog has calmed down a little bit, the Wah's been used, some of the magic's been used, we do see these Sisters of Slaughter, which are a pretty brutal unit. They're going to be able to massacre a lot of these pieces and, should be able to tear apart any low-tier Greenskin infantry, no problem. Objective Trace in the hands of the Greenskins, but not for long, as Witch Elves are called in. So Witch Elves do have that rampage ability now, the Witch Brew, which makes them absolute murder hobos. They'll do a ton of damage, and it looks like they did use it on that point, or at least we're planning to, and they've gotten it. Morathi does get rampage down into the pits, though. Alright, so she's been rampaged into the Savage Orcs, and we have a Goblin Big Boss going after her. She's only rampaged for another 5 seconds, and I would imagine the first thing... Oh, they need Stabbin' is active too. Platy's going to whip out a Soul Stealer immediately, and what's so good about Morathi, she's so hard to kill, is the fact that she debuffs the MD or melee attack of all these units, right? So she becomes a lot more resilient than she otherwise would be. Little Goblin Boss chilling back here. Night Goblin, Knob Goblin Shaman. The brain was thinking a couple things there. Hanging back there on the reserve. Witch Elf's going to be screaming in to help Morathi, but Morathi does get karate chopped, and down she goes to the Angry Wog. The pigs and squigs. Well, no pigs there. I think he's riding a pig, so it does count. But Morathi getting put in the can there is pretty bad. A couple of Fanatics are loose as well. Oh my god, those Fanatics did huge damage, just like Tabletop against those Witch Elves there. They get absolutely wrecked. So Witch Elves going to be hustling up towards Objective Uno right here. And will they be able to get the Rustiers? Probably so. They don't have the Rampage anymore, but they certainly have the killing power. And Little Goblin Shaman is also caught by the Sisters of Slaughter, but he does pop the Tormentor Sword, that sneaky little get. And he is able to get away from those Sisters of Slaughter. Now over towards Objective number 3 here. We do see the Blackheart Corsair sitting and pulling back, and they have 80 armor and decent stats. They could probably fight off these tattered Orc boys, but might as well just use your ammo first. And it looks like despite the Orcs getting the snipe, if we take a macro look at the battlefield, the Dark Elves still have good momentum. Both Medusas are still functional and alive. They have the better combat troopers out on the battlefield. The Witch Elves here just hunting and chasing. You can see the Witches were active. Sisters of Slaughter still very healthy, and those Medusas are seriously buttering some bread. Up in the sky, we do also have the Raven's Heralds. I like that play. A little bit of a gooning potential. It will keep the Lord of Renegade Moose back. At this point, it might honestly be worth it to unsummon the Night Goblin boss. I think that'd potentially be a good idea, but who knows. The Savage Orc Boar Boy is going to be chilling back, and we do see the Rustiers hanging out in the shadows. Up on Objective number 1 here, we do see it being flipped by the Dark Elves. The Dark Elves are starting to take this one with their Witch Elves up on the point. I wonder if Morathi is going to be brought back in. I don't think so. Platypus is basically calling things out, but he does have a big leadership penalty in his army. That was a really good play, though, by the Greenskin player. He rampaged with Fermented Fungi and the Raven's Heralds. I don't know if there's going to be enough follow-up. These squigs are in pretty bad shape, but Raven's Heralds are just awful in melee. Currently at 0 MD, so everything that hits them has the maximum % chance to hit, which is something like 80%. I can't quite remember what it is off the top of my head. The Savage Orc Boar is going to be moving in. The Greenskin Wah going for a second win, but right now the Dark Elves do have Murderous Prowess active. You can see that buff, or at least, yeah, it's active for another 13 seconds. So they get this huge combat buff of leadership, armor piercing, vigor. It's really, really good. The Druki, looking at the points here, we do see the Menacing Platypus is up a little bit on points. So he's definitely has the advantage here. And it looks like the Greenskin Lord, oh no, he might have blundered here. Renegade Moose might have thrown by not unsummoning or hiding his Lord. I mean, you could always hide them in the trees too. If unsummoning didn't exist, you could just hide them in the back and force your opponent to go look for them, which would, I think, be more fun. Honestly, Orc Shaman hunting down the Bloodrack Medusa. The Medusa would win that in a fight, but the Medusa is more afraid of the Savage Orc Boar Boys that are coming in here. Not that they're anti-large, but still 62 charge bonus. The Medusa is very, very low on leadership, and the Greenskin Wah might be able to get a comeback here. I would imagine Platy maybe floating the idea of resummoning Morathi, considering he probably has like 1,000,000 Winds of Magic left. But on the battlefield, we do have a full health unit of Sisters of Slaughter, a full health Witch Elf here, which is very, very imposing. Corsair is doing an excellent job fighting off the Goblin Big Boss, and the Raven's Heralds did come back, so they didn't get fully wiped out. Taking count of the Medusas here, we do have one Medusa who is going to be shattering right there, and on this side we have another Medusa who's fully surrounded. Very, very nice play here by Renegade Moose. He does get this round, and that Medusa might actually die and or break. Its leadership is wavering, it's at 1. It's surrounded. That Greenskin melee attack adding up here, and that charge bonus, of course, is no joke. More Squig Hoppers called in. Good choice. Very good against the copious amounts of infantry that we do see here with the Witch Elves and Sisters and the Corsairs, all of whom Squigs will like to feast on. This is a knockdown, drag-out game. Very, very close. Dark Riders called in and more Sisters of Slaughter. So Platypus. There was kind of a meme back in the day. I used to always just think they were the same person. You know, I knew they were different, but in every replay I would just be like, it's just, you know, and their names would be interchangeable. But here we got Witch Elves popping the brew. So they have 72 melee attack now, but they don't like getting run over by these Savage Orcs. That is for damn sure. Couple Dark Riders coming in, trying to salvage the situation. Overall, a bit of a better fight for the Renegade Moose. We do see the points. 2 objectives being held by the Druki here, but it looks like the Greenskins are getting a bit of a momentum swing. The one thing I could see maybe going okay for the Dark Elves is that if they stay in sustained combat, the Sisters of Slaughter here could maybe slaughter them and take them to Pound Town. We'll have to watch. So Squig Hopper is not taking too much damage. Sisters are taking a lot, but their sustained fighting power is pretty nuts. And Trial of Blades, yeah, pretty cool. It gives a melee attack and all that good stuff here. So, Dark Elves are able to break the back of the Greenskins in the middle using the Witch Elves in tandem with the Dark Riders. Couple goblins coming in, going to be the ROR goblins as well as night goblin squig hoppers. So this point could flip. I can see this maybe being a game where the Greenskins are ahead in some regard, but then it becomes a points game and maybe the Dark Elves do it, although it's very, very tricky because the Medusas are still active, at least one is, which is a big deal. Sisters of Slaughter trading really well. I mean, those units have almost 60 melee defense. So against a lowish melee attack of these cavalry and sustained combat who don't have their charge bonus, they can do huge work. Squig Hoppers charging in, going after the Witch Elves. Witch Elves probably going to lose this fight, but did the Platypus flip the objective? If he does, that's a pretty colossal play. This point does get flipped by the Greenskins, but it looks like the Platypus is going to be getting his little platypus tendrils out. I know they're poisonous creatures, and he is going to be getting it. Nope, Greenskins do concave in here with some Savage Orcs. We got some Gobos rolling and rolling up. Objective 1 looks like it could go either way here. And more Dark Riders are going to be hustling in, while the Medusa is going to be trying to provide some fire support. But Dark Riders are good, hard-hitting, fast, cheap like cavalry. Oh, the Foot of Gork. Okay, we kind of saw that. Looks like it did hit the cavalry, didn't manage to get too much more. Dark Elves going to be flipping that point back. We have a really, really tight match here. But are the Dark Elves taking this game over? Macro look at the battlefield. Looks like Dark Elves have more or less won this position, and they do have infantry. They have a lot of reinforcements coming in. Greenskins are kind of desperately trying to hold on to their back point. They don't have as much battlefield kind of presence. So I think Dark Elves are in a commanding position here. Not commanding. Commanding's probably a bit too much. Maybe more of a leading position. Commanding is like inferring that they would have like everything and bread would be getting buttered all over the place, right? But not today. So objective trace is held up here. And in the back, we do have Dark Riders running interference. They're really good against Squigs. Squigs are a unit that what they do well, anti-infantry and armor piercing. What they don't do well is trading into units that aren't infantry. So they can do okay, but it's not a good fight. Dark Riders will trade up into them, in my anecdotal experience. Back point is Greenskin owned. Medusa is sitting on the point, shooting her laser beams at the Night Goblins and probably getting some decent kills. Sisters of Slaughter need to watch out that they don't get fanatics. A nice beam right there, really good. The Medusa is sitting at 3,000 value. Man, that thing's just been farming all freaking game, hasn't it? Nuts. As the Sisters of Slaughter do arrive up, and we do see the Squig Hoppers also getting karate chopped. Over towards Objective 3, the Greenskins hanging out. They got a little bit of poke going down to the Sisters, but here we see the Dark Riders going to run down these Squig Hoppers, and I don't see how the Greenskins bring this one back. I think it's probably GG at this point. You know, I've been doing this long enough that I feel I can figure these things out. We still have the anti-large Medusa, and look at that. Beautiful shot into the Broken Tusk Mob. Absolutely nuts. Sisters of Slaughter grinding through Night Goblins. On the side point, we have a lot of really durable Dark Elf infantry, and, you know, by Dark Elf standards. 5 armor is durable, but the 60 MD is what really does it. And he's just triple captain, right? So the points are going up very quickly. I'm going to do a little bit of fast forwarding. I suspect there could be a surrender soon. The grinding of these Sisters of Slaughter here is brutal, although here we do see the Wog actually grab that point. Okay, a little bit of sneaky there. I like that. I respect it. Okay, and we do see him falling back to his back point. The Greenskins are also going to get this point. Yeah, maybe I was wrong about this. My prediction would still be that probably Platy is able to hold it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, I guess he's making me eat my words. That's the thing. Greenskins can really swarm you when you're least expecting it. And I believe both sides have the Lord penalty. Yeah. Did they? No. Okay. The Greenskins do not have the Lord penalty. I thought their Lord fled off the battlefield, whereas Morathi has been giving up that penalty the whole game. It's easy to remember that, you know, Platypus has been, fighting without a Lord this entire time. The Medusa coming back. This one's at 1,600, so nothing too insane there. We'll do some fast forwarding while they prepare for the Helm's Deep, but that is not an easy position to crack. Sisters of Slaughter, Medusas, and Corsair Infantry with rapid reinforcements coming in. We see them swarming on in. Currently, the points are looking to be almost 1,400. The Greenskins, they're pushing. They pretty much just have to go pedal to the metal. Although Greenskins really just do that anyways. Here are the Orc Shaman with the Skull Wand. I don't even know what that does. Discouraged. Okay. That's kind of cool. It gives them a discouraging effect. But how are they doing? Corsair Infantry are getting smashed up. Sisters of Slaughter are still around, still in good shape. Dark Elves just going to be calling in Dark Riders until the Sun and Stars die out. I just don't think the Greenskins have the reinforcements to get here in time. We do see the Sisters of Slaughter grinding it out. Yeah, and that's probably going to be it. A couple Squigs arriving, but we got Corsairs, we got the Hydra, and another reinforcements of Dark Riders coming in, which is a very good counter against the Squig units, and that's going to be GG well played. What a good game. I mean, Platy played super well, considering he lost his Lord really early and was at a huge deficit in that regard. And then the Moose also played great, you know, getting that Lord kill in the first place, getting the unsummon off just a little bit late on getting that third objective. Medusa's brutal, of course. Very, very good stuff. 1,500 there. Corsair Handbows did fine. I love the elite infantry. That was really fun to see. I like to see those elite Troops infantry. What do we see here? Yeah, the Savage Orc Troopers. Look at that. 1,100, 1,200, not bad at all. Squig Hoppers, wow, great value. 14,900, 1,500. I think some of them got summoned twice, but overall, a good performance. All right, guys, GG, well played. Hopefully you enjoyed that one, and we'll see you guys next time. Cheers.